The headlines today say the Geneva nuclear talks made significant progress. Diplomats shook hands. Technical discussions were scheduled for Vienna. Official statements sounded constructive. But behind the diplomatic language, something far more important happened. And it was revealed not in the press conference, but in reporting from major outlets, including the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. For the first time, we have a clearer picture of what the United States formally placed on the negotiating table, and how far that position is from what Iran says it can accept. Tonight, we break down what was reportedly demanded, how it compares to past agreements, and what it may mean for the future of diplomacy. This is not about taking sides. This is about understanding the structure of the negotiation. According to reporting from the Wall Street Journal, U.S. negotiators presented 5 core demands during the Geneva talks. Among them, dismantlement of the Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan nuclear facilities, transfer of enriched uranium stockpiles, permanent limits rather than temporary restrictions, expanded verification, structured sanctions relief tied to compliance. These are significant demands and notably more expansive than what was agreed under the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA. At the same time, Iranian officials reportedly presented a counterproposal. According to the New York Times, Iran suggested a temporary suspension of enrichment activities for several years, followed by limited low-level enrichment under international monitoring, continued verification under IAEA supervision. In other words, both sides entered the room with proposals, but they are structurally very different. To understand the tension, we need to compare this to 2015. The JCPOA allowed enrichment capped at 3.67%, limited centrifuge operations, sunset clauses after 10-15 years, significant sanctions relief. The new reported U.S. position goes further. It reportedly includes zero long-term enrichment, permanent restrictions, physical dismantlement of key facilities, initial sanctions relief that increases over time. That represents a major shift. Iran's current proposal, by contrast, maintains a future enrichment capability, albeit at lower levels. The gap between zero enrichment permanently and limited enrichment under monitoring is not a minor technical disagreement. It is a fundamentally different definition of what a final agreement should look like. Another important factor is history. The United States withdrew from the JCPOA in 2018. Iran subsequently resumed enrichment beyond previous limits. From Washington's perspective, the goal is preventing future nuclear capability permanently. From Tehran's perspective, there are concerns about long-term guarantees and whether future U.S. administrations would honor any agreement. This is not simply about uranium levels. It is about political trust, enforcement, and domestic pressures on both sides. No Iranian government can accept terms that appear to eliminate all sovereign nuclear rights permanently. At the same time, no U.S. administration wants an agreement that critics describe as temporary